Well, of course, I got to tell you about the Wild Bird and Nature Store because it is an incredible place if you're a bird watcher. Now, you may not be that into birds, but don't you like just maybe sitting on your front porch or your back patio and just staring at the trees, listening to the birds and wondering, what bird was that? What bird made that noise or made that sound? And maybe you're just one of those that's like, okay, I just want the birds to come and play in their little bird bath while you watch. Or maybe you're kind of a high tech redneck like me, and you're thinking, I want one of those cameras in the bird feeder with the solar panels on the roof, and it's got the really high tech cameras so that you can watch the birds come in and feed. Isn't that cool? Well, there you go. You need to go see Jerry and Jeffy at the Wild Bird and Nature Store. They've got all that stuff. Okay, let's say you're not into birds. You're like, I'm not a bird person, but I am a yard person and a garden person. Well, as you can see right there, they've got all kinds of stuff to decorate your garden. Wind chimes, whirly birds, and all kinds of stuff that you can just decorate your lawn, your backyard, whatever you want, your garden, and put those things out there and just sit back and take it all in. That's what the Wild Bird and Nature Store does. It's one of those places that's been a 25-year tradition for a lot of folks, located at 901 Lehman Avenue, in between the bypass and Fairview Avenue. You go and you see them, and I guarantee you're going to be satisfied. They've got the largest selection of bird seed around if you need some bird seed. They're open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 10 to 3. So, like this Saturday, if you're off work from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., you can go out there, go through the store, and just look at some of the stuff I was just talking about. You'll love it. The backyard is going to thank you, and so will the birds, all the little birdies. They'll be saying, thank you. Oh, Wild Bird and Nature Store, bringing nature a little closer to you. Well, hello, everybody. It is Thursday, June 26th, and I'm Chris Allen here on your 270 weather for the 270 area code and beyond. Yeah, so it's been kind of a weird day. Started out with the heat and humidity, and then late this morning we started to have these pop-up showers and thunderstorms, and then they just kind of faded away. I'll show you some that are still out there though. Okay, where is my camera? Where what happened? Hold on a second. Hmm, interesting. All right. Now, let me come back to this. Yes, I know I'm CA, Chris Allen. Okay, we get it. All right. Now let's go to the web camera, the Plano cam. There it is. I knew it would work. So there we go. Looking at the Plano cam live. Cloud cover, a little bit of sun, but it's been a muggy day. I'm not seeing any thunderstorms here, but there will be some that still come around maybe this evening before sunset, which is only minutes from now. And after sunset, like in previous days, those showers and thunderstorms will fade away. You lose that daytime heating and there's no support. But as we get into the weekend, there's an approaching cold front and we're going to get rain and thunderstorms, much better chance of that. And then without the need for daytime heating, the cold front itself and abundant moisture is going to set us up for a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity. So more on that in just a second. This okay. I thought I replaced this. I am so sorry, folks. Let me get the right one for today. That was yesterday's numbers. Here we go. Our high today was 93, 4 degrees warmer than the normal of 89. And we had a low of 76, no rainfall at the Bowling Green Airport, but some of you did pick up some rain with those thunderstorms that were around this morning, which we'll take a look at here in just a moment. Here is a current view of the radar as of 6:33 p.m. on this Thursday evening. And I put it in motion here, and you can see that we've had a couple of little showers that have popped up from time to time, but already many of these are beginning to die out. And so, like I said, once we get past sunset, they will mostly fade away as we lose that daytime heating. And then not much is going to happen after that. But they'll return tomorrow. So if you didn't get one today, you're more likely to get one tomorrow or over the course of the weekend because the rain chances are going to really go up, as you'll soon see. Here's a look at the Kentucky Mesonet network. And as you can tell here, we've got, well, it was there. I've got to work on some of these graphics are just not the Mesonet graphics, but the platform I use to get the graphics here has been acting really wonky lately. So I've got to figure out what's wrong or just go to a whole different system because I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied with this. I want things bigger, I want things brighter, I want things huge on your screen. And for some reason it's not working. And then I see random graphics showing up when they shouldn't, and my computer slows down. I can hear the fan running fast, and I'm like, that's not good. I guess I don't have enough available resources, but I will get them soon because it's frustrating to me. Anyway, here are the current temperatures from the Kentucky Mesonet network at 6:35. Upper 80s, some mid 80s, depending on where the rain has hit today. Some of you did get a little bit cooler. Let's see the maximum high temperature today, or the hottest temperature in the Kentucky Mesonet network. Most everybody hit low 90s. Morgantown hit 93 for your hottest temperature today. There were a lot of upper 80s, low 90s. I didn't see any mid 90s. Rainfall. There was some, and these were mostly from this morning, late morning toward midday. Quarter inch plus there in Litchfield and Grayson County. 35 hundredths of an inch of rain at the Corvette plant. But on the southern edge of Bowling Green at Western's Ag Expo Center, nothing. Then you see around us, there were a couple of places that picked up just some light rain showers, maybe a brief heavy shower, and then they all just faded away. Here's a look at winds currently coming out of the south at about 5 to 10. The moisture content, dew points running high, as you might expect, in the 70s, even mid 70s. Therefore, the humidity is running 60 to 70%. Now, rain chances are about to take a big rise over the coming days. And so let's take a look at that on the maps. And here we go into this evening. Any rain chances that are still out there will fade away. As we get into the overnight hours, not much going on. There may be a little patchy fog. Then we get into early Friday morning. The models are trying to show that there could be this little area of shower activity early in the morning. Then we see a better chance of rain again tomorrow afternoon. And that's because we've got a trough and a disturbance that's going to move in, tap into the available moisture, kind of like what happened today. And then we'll get rain and thunderstorms. Not everybody's going to get wet tomorrow. You're going to have much greater chances of rain into the weekend. Here is tomorrow evening, and we see scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. Then we go into Saturday morning, showers and storms. Look at all the coverage here. Everybody pretty much painted in the green. Same goes for Saturday night. Here we go into Sunday morning. Showers and thunderstorms continue. Here we go into Monday. Same thing, different day. Here comes Tuesday, the first day of July. And look at that, a cold front. Now, that cold front is back here in the Missouri Valley, but it's going to take all weekend just to move that far, just to move from here to here because of the big dome of high pressure, which has been settled in over the area for the last week, locking in the heat and humidity. We got to wait for it to move further east, which will then allow this cold front to move through on Tuesday. But even then, we're not done with the rain. There will still be showers and some thunderstorms even into Wednesday and Thursday next week. But here's the thing, it will be by then a little cooler and a little less humid. Let's look at the blender because that helps tell the story. So we go from the low 90s the next few days. I don't think we're going to be mid 90s. With the additional clouds and the better chance of rain, I don't think we're going to be in the mid 90s the next few days, but low 90s, yes. Even some upper 80s as we get into that time period, the beginning and middle of next week. But then we go back into the 90s, low 90s after that for the 4th of July and 4th of July weekend. Yeah, it's going to make a comeback. But you know what? That's typical. That's very, very typical. Um, so yeah, very typical. So it's not, I don't really see anything unusual coming from this forecast. So here we go. Tomorrow, 93, chance of showers and thunderstorms, kind of a replay of today, in which our high was 93. Then you see some lower 90s and upper 80s from the weekend through the beginning of next week. And look at those rain chances, though 70, 70, 70, 60. Those are good rain chances. 4 days in a row. I know it's the weekend, but find something to do indoors, I guess. Rain chances begin to fade away Wednesday into Thursday of next week. And Thursday is the day before the 4th of July. 4th of July is next Friday, a week from tomorrow. Hmm. All right. Let's check out some of the chat here. Let me see what this is. Rod and Gale, is there some kind of jet stream up in Brownsville? Our daughter lives there and she gets wild thunderstorms, and we are in a dearth down here in Halfway. It's like that all the time. Well, it's not a jet stream necessarily. The jet stream is always above us. And we call it that because it's up where the planes fly, about 30,000 feet. The jet stream helps steer storms, cold fronts, warm fronts, low pressure, high pressure. That's what steers them across the country, the jet stream. It's about 300 millibar, but about 30,000 feet up, thereabout, give or take. So it's not a jet stream that's doing it. There may be a boundary from time to time. It's almost like a mini cold front or a disturbance that you can get. And when one of those come by, it can almost trigger wind. It can trigger a thunderstorm. It can trigger all kinds of things. So that's probably what that is. Um, so yeah, and the more we get into the weekend with this pattern, I think you're going to see a few more of those disturbances popping things up. But there you go. I mean, it's uh, it's going to be, I think, just a lot of rain and thunderstorms. I don't think it's going to be any big deal. Um, Rita is asking any severe storms. Not that I can see right now. Not that I can see. That doesn't mean that there won't be, but right now I'm not seeing a big risk of severe weather. This would be just mostly your garden variety thunderstorms, maybe some brief heavy rain, drenching downpours. Uh, that is about the extent of it. Okay. Yeah, I know some of you are like telling me this. Congratulations. Thank you, David Causey. David. David's a good dude. If you know David Causey, he's a good dude. I had jury duty with David Causey. He used to run the where you could go, the Causey's auto salvage, where you could go out and get parts for your car. He's a good guy. Yeah, we sat on a jury one time, and he's just a good guy. Teresa, congratulate. Okay, so I'm starting to see these now. Thank you. What that is, some of you already know this. Um, I have been inducted into the Kentucky Broadcasters Association um, Hall of Fame, the Mike Hall of Fame, not like the name Mike, but like microphone Hall of Fame. It's the highest award given out by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association, the KBA. They do this every year, and I was surprised with this award a few weeks ago. I haven't actually gotten the award yet. That happens in September, but a big film crew came to the TV station today, and I sat down with them and just did this interview. And then they had friends of mine and people that I've worked with through the years. They also interviewed them. I don't know what they said. I'm sure they made up something because there's nothing good to say. I just, I told them, I saw them when they came in, and I'm like, okay, whatever you do, make up something and make it sound good. They're like, no, 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 we don't have to do that. We're gonna say good things. And I'm like, I won't know until that night of the KBA conference and the KBA awards. That's when I'll actually get my Hall of Fame award induction, all of that. But it's going to happen. So thank you, everybody. So that happened today. Um, we reran the story, and then BKO picked it up because I worked there for 31 years, and I thank them for that. They picked up the story and said, hey, hey, we congratulate you. You worked here for over 30 years. So way to go. And you know what? If it wasn't for BKO, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And a lot of the things that I get to do is because of all the years that I worked there and in radio. like it's Sam. Um, and other, I mean, years ago, I worked at other radio stations here in town. When I first got here in 1986, I worked, one of the first stations I worked for was the Beaver when it was still in Russellville in an old house. That's what I remember. Yeah, that's where the Beaver was located, right next to Logan County Hospital. It's not there anymore. Of course, it's moved here to Bowling Green. And then I worked for the Gator. All the stations I've worked for is like a zoo. Beaver, Gator. Oh, some good times though. So a combination of radio and television for the past now 40, almost 45 years. Yeah. I was a youngin' when I got into broadcasting. So that's what that's all about. The KBA award for the induction into the Hall of Fame, which I'm just still stunned over. It's a great honor, and I'm looking forward to September when I actually get to walk up on stage and get the award and say a little speech. They're making a video. Hopefully, I'll get a copy of that video and I can show you guys after it's all done. But that's what happened today, and that's why you're seeing the story out there. It's a great thing. I feel very honored. Something I did not know was going to happen. Did not ever even really think could it happen to me? I'm just not big on awards, but this is this is big. This is a big one, and so I'm very humbled and very honored. So thank you all for the congratulations, and thank you all for watching here as this podcast, it's another part of me, and it continues to grow. You guys are throwing out, I mean, when you watch there's some big numbers that just blow me away of the number of people that watch this podcast. And I've got some very satisfied sponsors now, both the Wild Bird and Nature Store and R&R Controls. I've spoke I've spoke with both of those sponsors this week, and they're like, we're going to keep going with you because it's working. We got people coming in talking about this podcast, and they know. So I'm like, hey, thank you, Lord. Thank you for that blessing. I sure appreciate it. All right, enough of that. Enough about that. You guys, thank you. Have a great Thursday evening. God bless, and I'll see you live on News 40 Sunrise tomorrow.